What good would it do to learn information if you didn't remember it? So now let's look at memory and some marketing implications of memory failure. Now let's look at memory. This is review from Psychology 101, so we'll do it very briefly. But there are three systems of memory, right? There's sensory memory, and sometimes that is called echoic memory because it's like a sensory echo. It lasts just a few seconds. 232. Repeat the number I just said. And of course, that was pretty easy, right? 232. Even though the stimulus was gone, you still were able to sort of hear it being echoed in your memory. So that is an auditory example of sensory memory. Here's a visual example. Look at your finger and then take your finger away. You can still visualize it for a few seconds. Now, the second system of memory is short-term memory, and this is also known as working memory. Remember Miller's rule. Short-term memory is limited to an average of 7 items. That magic number 7, right? 7 items that you can hold in your head and work with at one time. It lasts about 20 seconds without rehearsal, either intentional rehearsal. Let's say you're trying to remember a phone number until you can get it in your phone, and so you repeat it while you're getting your phone out. That would be intentional rehearsal, or unintentional rehearsal, like musing over something. Long-term memory is unlimited in quantity, and a majority of the evidence suggests that it is also unlimited in duration. Really? But if it's unlimited in duration, why do we forget things? Well, because some things we can't retrieve. They made it to long-term memory. They are there, but we can't find them. We can't find where we stored them. Let's explore marketing implications of 7 memory failures. The first one is transience. Transience is forgetting due to decay or fading of the neural pathway over time. It's harder to remember something if you haven't used it in years because you can't find your way to it, right? This is another reason why marketers use repetition, not just to implant the information in your head, but to keep it fresh. Absent-mindedness is forgetting due to distraction. All retailers would benefit from having consumer restrooms right in-house if feasible. Of course, that's not always feasible, but they would benefit from it because if they must send clients out of the store when they ask for a restroom, they risk the client being distracted and forgetting to come back. Blocking is forgetting due to interference from related information, especially information in the same category. So for instance, you see an ad for a new cereal and you decide to buy and try it later that week. But when you get to the store, all you can think of is the name of the new cereal you heard advertised that morning. Misattribution. Sometimes our memories can be distorted. For instance, we have a tendency to believe that conclusions we generate after reading or hearing a message were actually stated in the message. In short, this kind of misattribution can lead consumers to trust product information more than they should. Misleading questions and suggestions can also lead to memory distortion. For instance, after tasting a rather bland orange juice, consumers are more likely to remember the orange juice as being more flavorful if they first saw an ad suggesting that it has great flavor. Expectations can bias, in other words, color how we interpret information. Brand loyalty can sometimes turn into a bias. Brand loyal consumers tend to rate a new product higher when they are led to believe it is from their favored brand label, compared to when they are not led to believe this. And finally, persistence. Persistence. This is when you can't forget something you want to forget. This can be a marketer's dream, like the ad jingle that's driving you crazy because you can't get it out of your head. Here's a good review question for you. What is the term for a jingle like that? Earworm, remember? Let's look at some marketing implications of memory tricks. Chunking is a memory trick. We can hold more information in working or short-term memory by chunking it. In other words, breaking it into smaller units of information. Acronyms can reduce several pieces of information to one chunk. For instance, Kentucky Fried Chicken is often referred to in ads as KFC. Marketers can also increase memory for long phone numbers by chunking some of the numbers into words. For example, 1-800-I-FLY-Southwest. Rehearsal helps us not only hold information in short-term memory longer than 20 seconds, but it can prompt its storage into long-term memory. So, of course, ads are often repeated. And imagine the benefits to marketers if they can get you to do the repetition for them through things like earworms and ads that go viral. The mere exposure effect in psychology refers to the fact that we tend to like things that we are more familiar with, that we've simply been exposed to more. The simple repeated exposure to a product tends to not just increase memory, but it also increases familiarity and liking for the product. No wonder marketers bombard us with the same ads over and over again. Okay, so 3 tips derived from this lecture material just to get you started. Tip number 1, with celebrity endorsers, question what special knowledge the celebrity has about the product. Does Queen Latifah really have higher credentials than average in regards to judging house cleaning products? Tip number 2, comparison omissions like brand Y gasoline gives you more mileage are so commonly used. Make a game out of identifying them. Discuss them with a friend and then engage in 1-week competition to see who can identify the most. There's so many of them, okay, that you're going to run into. Agree on maybe a beer or a fancy coffee drink at the end for the winner, and only one of you will get the drink, but you both will end up more skilled at identifying omissions. If you have fun with this, or the loser wants a chance to try for a free drink again, compete again for false visuals. Remember, like the pork and beans example. Tip number 3. Remember the literally true but figuratively false statements that advertising often entails. Watch for hedging words. When we say hedging words, we're talking about words like could or may. This medication may reduce symptoms, for instance. And look for comparative phrases like more effective. More effective than what? They oftentimes don't even say. And words like recommended by experts. Experts of what? Don't jump to cause and effect conclusions. So we've explored many learning and memory phenomena and their consumer psychology applications. This concludes our lecture on learning and memory, and here is your somewhat freaky guerrilla marketing example.